So Sprint Telecommunications, has been fined $15.5 million for charging the feds for government-mandated wiretapping upgrades. So in other words, the government said to Sprint, you need to do these upgrades. We've got the latest and greatest now for our wiretapping, for our whole Edward Snowden, Echelon, Prism type thing where we're going to spy on people. These upgrades need to be done. You have to do them. And then Sprint says, okay, they do it. And they turn around and give the government the bill for it, which would be expected. You ask somebody to do something. You ask a business to do it. So they deliver. Then they're going to bill you for it. And the government turns around and says, no, we don't want to pay for that. We're going to slap you with a $15.5 million fine. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with this, in my opinion. Number one is the whole wiretapping Edward Snowden scenario, the Prism, Echelon, all these fancy names that the NSA and whoever else has for this whole type of program. They're forcing Google, they're forcing Sprint and all these other people to spy on the general public for this, carte blanche wiretapping. I think that's wrong. I think most of the general public would agree with that. And I think it needs to be addressed and repealed. And of interest, of note on that is that the Patriot Act is coming up for renewal soon. So surprisingly, we're not seeing much talk about that in the media. But it is, and I think it should be repealed or at least revised. It's a much too carte blanche system to spy on us, and it's an assault against our basic freedoms, especially with the United States. Supposed to be, freedom and liberty and, fundamental points, fundamental foundations of the United States. I think the Patriot Act goes strongly against that. So that's the first thing, the underlying problem with the whole thing. Okay, but let's get beyond that. The law is in effect. So the government is forcing Sprint to do these mandated upgrades to their latest and greatest wiretapping. Why does Sprint have to pay for it? I'm not usually the defender of big corporations, but why does Sprint have to pay for this? Think of this if you're a small business, mom and pop business, and the government tells you have to upgrade something to spy on people. They start making the little guy spy on your neighbors. Are you okay with that if you have to pay for it? So they tell you have to pay for it, and then naturally you would think, well, if I have to, then I can bill you for it. So you give them the bill, and you get a $15.5 million fine for giving them the bill for doing what they made you do. There's something seriously wrong with that. I don't know, on a lot of levels. It comes right back to the whole, I don't agree with the wiretapping in the first place, but then if you're going to force people to do it, why do you force them to incur the costs? And then why would you fine them for just naturally assuming that you're going to cover the costs? You don't just say, no, we won't cover the costs. You fine them for it. That's what I take away from this. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know if you got comments below. If you agree or disagree, let me know. Let's have a discussion on this. Let's have a discussion on wiretapping, government surveillance of the population, and forcing companies to do it for them and incur the costs. What do you guys think? Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.